that is a pretty big plunger tube. Here's a mega dart for size, and that catch seems rather beefy too. I can't believe that Hasbro finally dabbles in doing video game licenses in the Nerf brand, other than, like, you know, the Star Wars stuff and the Marvel stuff, and they choose Fortnite of all things. Fortnite is a massive, massive property now. For some reason, every single person on the planet has played this game. I played it when it first came out before you could even buy V-Bucks or anything for it, and I thought it was pretty good. I'm kind of jonesing for a third-person shooter with some kind of advanced movement mechanic, and Fortnite didn't really scratch that itch, unfortunately, because you'd shoot at someone, and then they'd turn around, and they'd switch to their building plan, hold down the mouse button, and instantly construct an Eiffel Tower, which was extremely annoying, and it made every single instance of every single combat pretty much boil down to who has the shotgun and who has multiple shotguns. I know that's probably not the way it goes now, but man, for like 6 months, that's how the game ran, and that was enough for me to never play it again. But here we are with a thing that I don't really like all that much, which is ironic because I love shotguns, but actually I really like this blaster. The Fortnite TS, which I believe stands for Tactical Shotgun, is an amazing blaster. Probably the only one from the entire Nerf Fortnite line that you should probably pay attention to, because unlike this ARL, which is, you know, essentially just a strife with a massive shell, or the suppressed pistol, which, while it is pretty good, is just a clone of things like the DL44 and Ray Jakku blaster thing, the Fortnite TS is an upside-down pump-action Magnus. And that sounds kind of lame, but it's actually really, really good. This thing is awesome, and as you can tell, she really big. This box does not fit in frame whatsoever, but it's got the Fortnite holographic sticker, so you know it's legit. Can't believe they have to do something like that, but pump action mega blasting. Comes with 8 mega darts. It's got dart storage in the stock, it's got slamfire, and a 4-dart internal clip, and it says keep a eye out for the SPL and ARL, which we've already looked at the SPL, and like I said, the ARL is literally just a strife. So, probably avoidable if you don't need something that looks like that. This blaster's cool. I am really, really happy that Hasbro sent me this one, because I like it a lot. It is a bit goofy, it does have some problems that can be fixed by modding, of course, but it does have some issues. It is relatively interesting, though. Probably the most interesting fact is the little screen thing that's just a hunk of McDonald's toy-level plastic. It says Nerf Love Fortnite on it, and this is on the actual model in the game, although I don't know what this is supposed to actually do. They could have put an LED behind it. That would have been relatively cheap and really brought this thing up a whole nother level. It's also got somebody dabbing on the front of it. I don't know how well you can see that, but I need to get a picture of that to splice in. But yeah, there's a Fortnite person dabbing on you. They know their audience well, and it's a pretty big blaster. It's overall not that thick. It's actually rather thin, as long as you would remove this, which is just a piece that clips on. It's never supposed to be removed, but yeah, it bends enough, I think, if you wanted to rip it out, it would come right out. And then this piece right there, which is just another thing that snaps on that's supposed to keep it from twisting or anything like that. But pump action, slam fire, mega blaster, and yes, it loads underneath the pump, kinda like a real shotgun. I mean, obviously a real shotgun, you're not gonna load up at the front like this, but you do actually pull the breech open, and it's really, really easy to reload. You kind of just shove them in there, again, just like a Magnus. It holds 4 mega darts, slam it closed, pull the trigger, and you get these really weird orange and purple mega darts out of it. And yes, if you hold down the trigger, pump it back, and pump it forward, it automatically fires the dart, meaning you can rack off shots really quickly with this thing, which kind of gives it a unique edge. Now, of course, you can get other muzzle loader things or cylinder things like the Roto Fury or that gigantic rough cut I can never remember the name of, but this is way faster to reload in my opinion, because you could just shove darts right in there like that, and you'll get better at that, and you'll get quick at reloading it. But it also has the feature of holding 4 additional darts in the stock. Now there's a problem with this, because the ridges on this plate right here, when you close it down on the dart, actually leaves marks in the darts. It's actually kind of hard. I guess all these are good ones. I took them out when I was doing the fire. Yeah, there we go. This one has ridges cut in it, which is a little bit of a design oversight, but I mean, it's just for storing darts. It won't actually damage them all that bad. The stock is pretty short, although it's a really comfortable stock in my opinion. I'm kind of pudgy, so that works out for me, but yeah, no, I like it a lot, and it's got a hole right there. And all this red and white plastic are actually separate pieces, so you can pull off this red and paint it a different color, just like the white separates, which is nice. I always like things that come apart easily for painting, and it has Bossmerg 12 molded into it, and what this is probably some kind of ejection port, I'm not quite certain. The grip is a little awkward. It's a big square, but even for my small hands, I can hold it comfortably. I don't know how long I'd want to hold it, because again, it's not really round or anything like that, but it's not bad at all, and the overall design is pretty cool in my opinion. There is an issue with the pump grip though, in that it's like this slope right here is kind of in the wrong direction. You'd normally want that to be because your hand is moving back like this, so your hand doesn't slip off. You don't really have to worry about it sliding forward all that much, but they went with the opposite direction here because it matches the in-game model, which is one of those things where the in-game model probably isn't as comfortable as what you would think it would be, but I mean, it works because it's massive and oversized, so it's kinda hard to complain about that all that much. The loading port is rather nice and big, so it's really easy to just pump that back, and it's got ratcheting stuff in it that should keep it kind of in place. Easy to access the loading port, but it's really easy to just shove it forward like that, prime it, and if you half cock it like that, it gets stuck until you prime it all the way back, which a lot of blasters do. I don't think that means it has gearing in it, it's just got a ratcheting mechanism that prevents you from pulling it all the way back like that. The sight picture is also pretty good, although your barrel is like, I don't know, 4 inches lower than the actual sight, so it's a shotgun. You're gonna be pretty much just hip firing it anyway. And it still does that thing that all the Fortnite blasters do, where all the lines don't really match up anywhere to kind of try to not make it look like a real firearm. I get what they're doing, but the interesting part is if you were to remove this entire foregrip, behind that, it's all completely straight. So I think this blaster, among all else, you could just cut off the top portion, but I think there needs to be a 3D printed grip for this thing, because it could be slightly smaller, slightly more comfortable, and you'd have a pretty sick looking blaster, and probably remove this or replace it with something. You put a little camera for my, yeah, there we go. Boom. Perfect. Hire me, Hasbro. And the velocity is what you would expect. It hits about 70 FPS with every shot, which is really, really nice for a blaster like this. How's its modability? I honestly don't know. I guess we're probably gonna have to open this thing up. Yeah, except for the oh, there's a llama molded underneath that. Except for the giant, oh, can this come out? Can it come out? It doesn't seem like it wants to come out. Huh, I guess you can't take that off all the way. It looks a lot better because this is all streamlined. Like, that looks really cool. That's good for a cosmetic mod right there. That is a pretty big plunger tube. Here's a mega dart for size, and that catch seems rather beefy too. Huh. Let's see, can we kind of fit this out? Let's see, let's unhook this. There we go. That's going to be a pain to put back together. This should just clip off. There we go. Wow. All right. Really, really dinky spring. tons of air volume, although, oh, yep, there we go, floating plunger tube right there. Nice and durable. Can't remove this piece, just like on a long shot. In fact, I'm getting very similar long shot vibes from this, but yeah, that's pretty awesome. That's definitely going to lead to a lot of fun modifications for this thing. You kind of need a spring kind of like this, though. It's about Retaliator size, but way longer for it to fit in that recess on the plunger head. Snaps back on. This piece is gonna kind of go on like that. And somewhere along here we lost a couple of pieces, but I'm gonna get this back together and then give you a conclusion. Yeah, that is a really nice catch. I don't want to get too excited about this because when it comes to like highly modifying springers, I usually just follow, I don't exactly lead, but there's a lot to love about this system here. The plunger tube, I did measure it with my really cheapo calipers here. I got about 29 millimeters of internal diameter on the plunger tube, and it has about 100 millimeters of draw. So that's quite a bit, although I'm sure the plunger tube is tapered and stuff like that. That's still a lot of room for air volume, and well, the pump action is connected directly to the bolt, although if you were to change this out to shoot like short darts or full-length elite darts, stuff like that, that would most likely go bye-bye, so you'd have to, basically, I'm kind of hoping Worker will come out with a system for this, because it is really good. Like, there's a lot to love there, and even as a stock blaster, it reloads really quick, it reloads really coolly, and it can hold, 8 darts on it ready to go, although it's pretty big for something like a secondary. It's pretty huge, and it only really has the one sling point on it, which you could do, but yeah, it's big. It is huge. Not very thick, but huge, and it would look so much better without the top portion of the pump grip on it. But I really think this is a winner. Out of all the Fortnite blasters, I really do think this is the one that you might want to look out for unless you just have no use for Mega, but it's extremely fun. And with some slight modifications, it would look really, really cool if you're not even in the whole Fortnite thing. I'm really pleased with this, but let me know what you think about the Fortnite TS down in the comments section below if you have any fun ideas out of the gate for it, because even though you could put a massive spring upgrade in this thing right off the bat, I think your main issue is going to be something along the lines of the fact that there's no barrel. It's just, like a Magnus, but they made a sealed breech kit for the Magnus for elite darts, so yeah, I'm excited to see what the future brings for this blaster, and I hope you are too, so leave your ideas down in that comment section. Maybe somebody will get to it before anybody else and make something really cool out of this blaster. Should be hitting shelves everywhere in just about a week. June 1st, I believe, is when Amazon has it as their pre-order date. There's a link down in the description you could use to buy one if you want to help the channel out. Doesn't cost you anything extra, buys it right off Amazon and gives a little bit back to the channel, so I can blow it on the Kamen Rider toys. The sounds make me really happy. But other than that, I'm Walcom S7. Thank you very much for watching this video, and of course, I hope to see you in an entirely different one.
その力を操る地球外生命体エボルトの前に仮面ライダーが立ちはだかる。